Okay, so we're here with Grant Allen with Dlala Studios. Okay, and we're playing Disney Illusion Island. And so in this case, this is kind of a throwback to like the Castle of Illusion games and stuff like that. What do you think? Do you bring anything carried over from those old games, 16-bit games?
Yeah, so I'd say probably the main thing we bring over is kind of from especially like the world of Illusion games is kind of the multiplayer aspect of it. So something which was very important to us while we were creating this game was giving the characters something where they could create moments like I used to have when I played it with my brother, and he used to drop the rope so I could get up using the seesaws, for example. So like it was a big thing for us. The game was awesome alone but better together. And those games are absolutely awesome that we used to play, and I think it would be silly for us not to bring inspiration from those awesome games across. Yeah.
And then now you have a big focus on multiplayer. Will there be like online multiplayer, or is it just local co-op?
It's just local co-op that we have. That's just because we wanted to create that kind of sitting on the couch with your friends. If anyone annoys you, you can punch them. But yeah, completely on couch co-op.
And you've done a lot to like make it feel like you get a different experience when separate, but also together. There's a lot of things to like help or hinder each other.
Yeah.
Your main thing was that were you trying to make it so that each experience was completely separate?
Yeah, 100%. So, something when we were thinking about kind of like the older games and how they make you feel, and like Disney in general, like the nostalgia and kind of the joy that brings. It's almost, for me, it's the way that I word it is you're almost creating like unique moments that a single player could have or multiplayer, and then as well as that, hundreds of people who play the game are going to have those little unique moments through these multiplayer easements that we give them that just make their journey that they're taking throughout the world of Monarch unique.
You played a lot of those old Disney. You played a lot of Disney games just in general.
Yes, I'm a bit obsessed. Yes.
So one thing we noticed while playing is that there's a very distinct art style. Everything's kind of crisp and fluid. All the characters themselves had their own personality and actions throughout. Can you talk a little bit more about what the inspiration was for the art style, maybe how much Disney helped with collaborating on the experience as well?
Yeah, so I think when we were looking at the art style, we was always inspired by kind of like Mickey from like the Lonesome Ghost series with the white face where he's a bit cheeky, and we wanted to take like inspiration from the modern cartoons as well that he's appeared in. And kind of that navigating kind of what the art style was with Disney was a bit of a dream. Getting to sit there and be like, hey, here's 60 versions of Mickey Mouse that we really like, this one, and then be like, oh, okay, helping us navigate and find, what that character looks like in this world that we're creating. And it was just like a ridiculously amazing experience. I feel very, very lucky that we got to do it. But yeah, it's not very often you can say, oh yeah, our Mickey, Minnie, Donald and Goofy we got to redesign for a game.
So not specifically based off the new TV show series, but your own unique take on it.
Yeah, so I'd say the best way I would word it is almost similar inspirations with different results, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Now, one thing we've noticed while playing, we came under the presumption that this was a linear game, but it's a lot more expansive and non-linear exploratory. Can you talk a little bit more to that?
Yeah, so the world of Monarch that it takes place in is a completely open world, made up of a hub and 3 separate biomes, which have their own areas. The best way that I would describe it, and people are probably going to hate me for using the term, but it's a Mickey-Vania, and I'm going to keep saying it, Mickey-Vania. But yeah, so it kind of takes inspiration from Metroidvania games, so there's certain like soft locks and hard locks that you come across that you'll need abilities to kind of navigate around the world. The way that I would describe it is almost like, we played a lot of Metroidvania games and platformer games, and we were coming up with the concept of what we wanted for this big open world, and we almost like took kind of the key elements from Metroidvania, and almost what I wanted to do is to create a game where it's not necessarily like a hardcore Metroidvania, but people could play it and see you know, the little hints of that genre that are coming through, and it could be a gateway into, you know, getting them into Metroidvania. Because starting off with Hollow Knight is very hard. So, you know, if there's something that can introduce people into the genre, then I'd be really happy with that.
You said one of my favorite games of the generation.
Yeah. It's, I love it. I still haven't completed it, and I bought it probably about 2 years ago, and I still haven't completed it.
It's a climb, so I don't blame you on that. We touched on it a little moments ago, but maybe you could talk a little bit through the audio design, some of the music itself, and how that came to be.
Yeah, so when we were coming up with the world and kind of what we wanted the game to be, we took a lot of inspiration, even from a level design perspective, all the way through to art and music from the parks. So, you know, I think that you could take the Disneyland map and you can make a Metroidvania out of it because of how they connect everything together, basically. So, looking at the parks with the music as well and the soundscapes that they create and kind of the transitions that they create through the different kind of parts of the park was something that we wanted to have in the game for each different sections within the biome. So you should always feel like it's something new and something unique for every area that we're in, and it should always feel as if you are travelling through and the music is changing and adapting as you go through as well. And it's a full orchestrated soundtrack.
I'm happy to hear that, because music and audio design is a very important piece of what makes video games work, and especially adds a lot of character to what you're working on as well. We noticed that there's a lot of collectibles throughout the world too. Maybe you can talk through a little bit about the type of collectibles and what kind of how that goes into the game.
Yeah, cool. So one of the main collectibles in the game is the glyphs. So fairly small little blue orbs. So you collect those, and once you hit certain numbers, you unlock additional health parts. And then as well, you unlock kind of pieces of artwork, which gives you nice little bits of story about the history of the world of Monoth itself and how the island was created. As well as that, you get tokens, which are these little kind of playing cards, which give you a picture of an enemy, NPC, or person that lives within Monoth. Gives you their name and then gives you a little bit of description about their character and what they do on the island. And then we also have Mickey memorabilia, which is kind of like our love letter to, you know, Mickey and Disney of the past. And these are little satchels that you collect, which have items from historical features that the gang have been in. So, for example, you can pick some up and you'll have some which is to do with the Sorcerer's Apprentice, or some which is to do with Potato Land from like the new shorts. Even some nice little treats that I'm not going to spoil are in there as well.
Now, with that, you had a lot of access to like Disney and like its history. Is horse collar on the table, or are we not, is that something you could like throw in?
No comment.
Is there plans for like either you said that there's a lot of stories you can tell in this world. Is there any plans for possibly you can talk about any plans for like expansion DLC or anything like that?
Do you know what? I would say I would absolutely love to work with Disney again, and I would absolutely love to explore the characters in this world a lot more. Unfortunately, I think it's just time will tell. I mean, hopefully everyone enjoys the game, and hopefully we do get the opportunity to share more stories. But, you know, if they want us to do it, I'll do it. So.